What's going on, everybody? It's GAMEUNBOXINGREVIEWS here, and welcome back to another news update. So, as I'm sure some of you are probably already aware of, out of nowhere, Marvel's Spider-Man Miles Morales was officially announced during the PS5 Future of Gaming show. And in this video, I'm of course going to be talking all about it and breaking down the official announcement trailer. So, without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so as Miles said, let's do this. So before we break down the official announcement trailer, it's worth mentioning that Marvel has stated that this game will feature an all-new story that is set within Marvel's Spider-Man PS4 universe, where players will face great new challenges as Miles learns to become his own Spider-Man. Now, the announcement trailer opens with a really inspiring quote from Peter Parker himself, voiced yet again, of course, by the legendary Yuri Lowenthal, who has reprised his role from Marvel's Spider-Man PS4, for this trailer at least, as there is currently no official word on if Peter will actually make an appearance in this game's story, but I personally wouldn't doubt it. And while the trailer already made this pretty obvious, it's also important to mention that Nadji, who voiced Miles in the first game, is of course reprising his role for this one, which is great news. So what Peter explains to Miles is that a hero's just someone who doesn't give up. Miles' dad said that, and he was right. Now it's Miles' turn to go be a hero, which is exactly what we see him doing in the very first shot of this trailer. Now, while it's impossible to tell just what exactly is going on here, in the comics, Miles could use his Venom Blast ability to destroy technology. So my best guess here is that he is attempting to overcharge some kind of machine to the point where it is literally ripping his costume off his body piece by piece. But we can also see that Miles is looking pretty beat up too, with blood and scratches on his face, probably due to a fight. Quick thing I wanted to mention before we get into the next shot that we see in the trailer, we also see Miles scream in pain as this red and green effect appears, and while I have no idea what that could mean, it definitely looks cool, and whether it was intentional or not, it gave me major Into the Spider-Verse vibes, which is always a good thing. Next up, right away from this absolutely gorgeous sunset shot as Miles does his thing and pulls off some incredibly cool flips throughout Manhattan, we can see that this game is in fact set during the winter, which is extremely exciting, as that is a season that I have personally always wanted to see in a Spider-Man video game, and I really appreciate all of the little details that Insomniac has put into this version of the city, like snow built up along the path and on fire escapes and water towers. Now, I've rewatched this shot several times now, and aside from the huge amount of pedestrians on the street and vehicles on the road, I honestly can't seem to see any hidden Easter eggs, but there is some cool hanging decorations, and one of the buildings even looks to have a Christmas tree sprayed over it. PlayStation has also revealed that with the PS5's ultra-fast SSD, players can near instantaneously fast travel across New York City in this game. Okay, so I've got to be perfectly honest here because I have literally no clue who this guy could be that Miles is laying the smackdown on. He's more than likely just a henchman, and that's all I really know, which is pretty rare for me when it comes to Spidey, but I actually find that quite exciting because it means that I'm in for a surprise with this game. We can see that the guy is wearing a silver mask over his mouth, and he has a purple glowing neon outfit. And again, nothing mind-blowing to mention about the background here, just a mini market and a butcher's shop, but I also love how you can see the frozen snow on the cars. PlayStation has also revealed that players will feel the tension of each one of Miles's web swings, punches, web shots, and venom blasts thanks to the PS5's DualSense wireless controller's haptic feedback. Moving on, here we can see a really nice shot of Miles walking through the snowy streets of Manhattan at night in his civilian clothes. And one of the biggest things that I really wanted to see in Spider-Man PS4 was being able to free roam as Peter Parker. So if we can actually free roam as Miles without the costume, then I'm going to be even happier than I already am with this game. Here we have an awesome daytime shot of Miles free falling towards Grand Central Station. The level of detail that Insomniac have put into his costume in this is absolutely insane. Here we can see an extremely awesome action shot of Miles attempting to save this young woman from a collapsing bridge as a police helicopter looks down over them. And at first glance, I did think that the woman was Mary Jane, but after closer inspection, we can of course see that she is not MJ. Another great shot here of Miles leaping over cars trying to rescue this mysterious woman from the raft, maybe? Honestly, honestly, it's really hard to say right now, but the level of damage on the bridge alone makes me think that someone like Rhino or even the Juggernaut is responsible. Now that would be cool. Love this shot here of Miles swinging past what I think is the New York Savings Bank, which I believe was where Peter fought Shocker in the first game, only this time the building has been covered in Christmas decorations. Everything from a tree as well as presents have been added, which look really nice. And just look at the amount of pedestrians and vehicles that are populating the city in this one shot. I mean, that is seriously impressive. Again, I have absolutely no clue who these neon purple bad guys are, but this one appears to be using some form of nanotech, so it could be one of the game's main villains. Here we can see another one of Miles's unique powers on display, this time in Times Square, as he uses Spider-Camouflage, which for those that don't know is essentially the ability to turn invisible. And in the previous game, Peter relied a lot on his gadgets, so it'll be interesting to see if Insomniac has swapped them out in favour of Miles focusing on just his powers. And we can see here that Miles has taken on yet another neon purple enemy, but this one actually has crossbones like gauntlets, which are of course no match for Miles, as he web pulls the enemy to the ground before delivering a Venom Blast. So I'm not sure if this actually holds any significance, but the license plate on the car on the left says 556, and in 1999's Amazing Spider-Man issue 556, it just so happened to be snowing in that issue. So I thought that was a pretty neat thing that I also wanted to share. Now if you pause this part of the trailer, you will see that Miles is chasing a very fast character that is also emitting purple energy, and as soon as he jumps, it causes the car on the left to completely flip over. So Miles is dealing with a pretty powerful character here. Lastly, I hate to say it, but yes, even though these aren't neon purple enemies, I still have no clue who this enemy is that Miles is using the Venom Blast on. It's probably another henchman, and again, that is all I know, but I absolutely cannot wait to learn more. Alright, so that's pretty much it for this video. All that's left to say now is that Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales will be available exclusively for the PlayStation 5 as early as this holiday season, which is very exciting news. Anyway guys, I want to thank you all very much for watching, and if you'd like to stay up to date with the latest news on this game, then please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.